Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in. 2 minutes, 30 seconds early. Well, I always start the stream normally 2 minutes early. Tonight it was 3 minutes. We're going to be technical. So if I have a stream scheduled for 7 o'clock, it'll start, the loading screen will start at 6:58. Today it was scheduled for 7:30. I started at 7:27. And yeah, there's some big stuff. So I'll go through all the stuff. I know there's some people in the chat talking about it. The reason I titled this the Alberta stuff was mainly because I want to look at some Canadian polls, see what's going on there, kind of discuss the situation, maybe 30, 40 minutes in. There's some news today that happened. The White House, CNN seemingly got rattled for whatever reason. Trump called them bullshit fake news like he always does, and they got very angry. I mean, it's typical Trump. I don't know why they're so mad. They tried asking a leading question to make the administration look bad, so Trump's like, fuck this. And then he hit back with Stephen Miller, Rubio, Pam Bondi. They all answer the same question from CNN, trying to... An I gotcha question. Smith of Alberta Premier. Danielle Smith, you're talking about, definitely changed tune on separating, was totally TDS before, now gives calm response, not saying no. Yeah, because the people in the province are just exhausted with the liberal leadership within that country. The overwhelming liberal leadership for the past two decades or so. Caitlin Collins got bitch slapped today in the Oval Office. It was awesome. Well, yeah, you could tell what they knew that question was coming. The administration did. You know, it's about this fringe case about someone being deported that shouldn't have been deported, but they had connections to MS-13, which Trump had labeled a terrorist group. So I mean, it's a gang that's like terrorist ridden, and look, people are gonna be deported. I don't know why they get so angry over this stuff. It's all fake fucking outrage. They're trying to make Trump look bad. JD Vance broke the trophy. Yeah, I saw that. People have been predicting Canada's collapse for years. Well, it's happening now in real time, especially with them importing all these foreigners and just this, really just the West in general, immigration. I mean, modern liberalism is destroying the West, just utterly obliterating it. And I don't even know how any liberal in the United States, like if we actually had a debate about liberalism, I'm not sure how they could win the debate. Liberalism makes legitimately, I won't say 100%, but like 95% of things worse. And we've gotten more liberal, whether it's, you know, W. Bush, Obama, Trump in 2016. The country is moving further to the left. Like, go listen to Bill Clinton in the 90s. And obviously, I mean, it's the same thing with Western culture in general with Europe. We have to save Canada before any talk of secession happens. People want to start talking about leaving so quickly. Canadians must do everything in their power before any talk about leaving. Well, I mean, I think we're talking about provinces here, because you know, Eastern Canada is not going to want to leave. I'm sure a lot of conservatives in Western Canada don't want to leave either, but the thought is if Carney wins, we could be looking at, my guess is there's going to be concessions made by the Canadian government in terms of drawing back all of the carbon taxes or whatever bullshit that Alberta is facing, them subsidizing Eastern Canada with the Equalization Act. That's probably going to have to be renegotiated to keep Alberta within Canada, because Alberta could have a referendum, say we're seceding, and then the United States and Trump recognize it and protect them. But I do also think it becomes like a legality thing where they have to, the Canadian government has to okay their separation even after a referendum is held. NVIDIA investing $500 billion to build AI infrastructure and supercomputers. Yeah, it's an arms race, man. AI is a complete arms race. And it's only going to, things are only going to move faster and faster with AI. And I'm sure DeepSeek is going to come out with something in the coming months. It's back and forth. It's OpenAI, it's DeepSeek, it's Grok. My sister told me today that she has a trans teacher. You're fumed. Wow. Well, what grade is she in? Every issue is downstream of immigration. Well, what is immigration caused by? I mean, you could say the 1965 Immigration Law Act that was signed in, but I think it's a root. The root cause is feminism because it creates less families, which then forces the immigration to where they say we have to have immigration. We have to have it. I mean, we're not producing at the rates that are going to keep our population and society sustained. So it goes even back further than just immigration. Immigration is a product of feminism. Thoughts on all the female space crew? Just it, it's just a photo opt. It's just a media tour. Regardless of who wins, Alberta needs to leave. The country is so messed up, right? Well, if Paul Vier wins, I can't see it happening. I just can't see it happening. Where are the trade deals at? Well, it takes time to negotiate them. But I mean, they said they're close on several trade deals. But I'm going to go through some of this stuff. Um, this was a weird thing. So, you look at this and it's like, well, this dude's taking a picture of this woman. It's, you're fat shaming someone at the gym. This is an AI photo. And it's like people got really mad at this dude, but then he's like, no, it's AI. It's just very strange. So this is not a real photo, but, well, they added this in. Yeah, but people got really angry at this dude, and they were like, well, that's terrible what you did. The woman's trying to better herself. But the dude had an AI photo for, I guess, engagement. It's just odd. How's Clyde doing today? He just sleeps he's like 15 years old. He sleeps like 20 hours a day. 18 hours. I mean, that's what a cat normally sleeps. PR stunt. Yeah, it's a PR stunt and a really just disingenuous PR stunt with the women that were invited. I mean, all the plastic surgery. It's like, what is this? This is empowering women. All these like ultra rich women going. Carney acts the consumer carbon tax, not the entire tax that will replace the tax with another atrocious tax. If people are so brainwashed, they immediately jumped back on the lib train. What? Because it's like, oh, he's cutting the tax, so it's good enough. Bukele handled the press questions very well today. He owned the reporter about why criminals from a designated terrorist group should be released into El Salvador. That was up. Yeah, they were trying to get him because the Trump administration basically said, well, that individual is in the custody of El Salvador, so there's really nothing we can do. And then he's like, I'm not going to release him. He was ruled to be possibly a terrorist in 2019 by ICE, so why would I release him? They're trying to get a one-up on Trump to get this dude released back to the United States, and it'd be like, oh, this is a terrible look for Trump and everything like that, and it's because of the Supreme Court ruling, but, I mean, if it was an administrative mistake, I don't know what to tell people. They gave him to El Salvador. He's a citizen of El Salvador, and they don't want to release him back to us, so we're not required to get him back. We can't forcibly take him back. He's in the hands of El Salvador at this point, so... Can we win the AI arms race if we can't refine rare earth minerals yet? Well, I mean, I know Trump really wants to do something about that. That's why they invested around $15 billion into trying to better the situation around refinement. But I think a lot of the problems with refinement come down to the environmental stuff. When you refine the rare earths, there's like environmental factors at play that is a big problem for the United States, which hopefully Trump will be able to get rid of. But I don't know exactly, because China is just trouncing us in that. I mean, it's like 90% of rare earths because of the refinement come through China in some form, whether we get them from Japan or another Pacific country. They all get refined in China. So that's why China has such a mass control over the rare earths.
We've been listening to a lengthy live press conference inside the Oval Office with the leader of El Salvador, Bukele, where we have heard a lot of bits of information, a lot of news nuggets.
This woman is, she's rattled.
Want to definitely focus on a lot of some misinformation as well. But we want to digest all of this right now with our terrific panel here and our reporters. Jeff Zeleny, I want to start with you. You are at the White House. Before I get to you, I just want to say, for the record, since we heard President Trump say in the Oval Office that CNN hates our country, CNN does not hate our country. That should go without saying. I've been here for 32 years, and I see a rhetorical device in him trying to say such a thing. We've been.
I mean, why is she so angry and rattled? I just don't understand it. Empowering women only to marry millionaire. That's why we have immigration. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of white women, liberal white women. But you know what? It's even a bigger thing. Like, you look at Boise, Idaho. It's a really sinister thing that's happening to a lot of these cities. And imagine they start attacking the Great Plains, and the Great Plains turn liberal. Because the thing is, you get the liberal white people that move in, then you're going to get the demographic shifts, because the liberal women always vote in favor of a more diverse environment. And we see it over, like Salt Lake City, I was told yesterday, is just already a shithole. It's already ruined. And these Great Plains cities have low populations. It's not going to take much to ruin them. It's just, this is a huge issue. And it just, because it's the liberals that move in. They're like trying to get away from all this horrible liberal policy, but then they just create more of it. It's like a never-ending thing. You know, a great example of this is Chicago. Chicago has just this terrible, terrible crime issue. They're taxed to hell. And they went from Lori Lightfoot, who was historically bad, to someone somehow even worse, who's even more left-wing. Because they can't vote for anyone right-wing. These are left-wing people. Their policies are destroying them, and then they vote for even more of the same policies in a more aggressive way. It's like they had a left-wing, horrible Lori Lightfoot, soft on crime, and then they elect someone that's even more left-wing that's going to expedite the demise of the city. And so it's like, well, what are we supposed to do with these people? They can't vote and be like, okay, maybe we should go the other way and have, I mean, they tried doing it with, I guess, Eric Adams in New York, but he's still a liberal. I guess not anymore, but he has his own problems. News is saying he was giving amnesty in the U.S. to escape gang violence, the gaslighting. Yeah, I mean, I've heard a lot of conflicting reports on because he did come to the United States. It is true, like, in terms of like escaping the violence there. But I don't know. I mean, you know, there was ICE people that ruled him as part of the gang. So look, this is an illegal. This is someone that should not be here. He got deported. The Trump administration said, well, it was a bit of an error, but we can't take him back because he's with El Salvador now. What do you want us to do? Sorry, I spoke a little bit long there. Carl, $4.99. Thank you for that. If gas prices drop hard, would that make people forget the tariffs or no? Well, the gas prices in the energy sector being down, it's a sign of a very good future economy. Libs will say, well, it's this terrible recession that's happening. People are traveling less because they don't have as much money. But this is exactly where we want the gas prices. This is exactly where we want the crude oil futures. The crude oil futures now, let me actually make sure I didn't mute myself there. The crude oil futures are exactly where I want them to be ranging from. I think they're $61 right now per barrel. I want it anywhere from 55 to 70. They might go a little bit lower for a short period of time if it is like the recession, because it's bearish technically. But the recession, we won't know until the 25th, because that's when the quarter one GDP comes out. But I think the energy sector, I did a video on it specifically talking about it. This is going to be very, very good. We're starting to get the bedrock, the foundation. lower gas prices, lower energy in general, lower oil, lower inflation, interest rates. I mean, this CME is a good predictor, and they're saying interest rates are going to be cut 3 to 4 times this year alone. And so we know this is all in the pipeline. These people, it's just this immediate reaction. They don't have the full context to it, and I mean, this is just, it is what it is. Did you see the liberal college Harvard bitch? No, I didn't see that. What is that? You don't think I would like Eugene, Oregon? Yeah, Eugene, Oregon, Portland. I mean, all those cities are just heavily liberal infested. Well, that's why they're trying to. I mean, those people are hated so much, half of the fucking state wants to leave. That's the whole Greater Idaho thing. Inflation climbed by 3.2%. Why are you lying? That's completely false. Inflation has gone down in basic. I mean, what are you citing exactly? Inflation's down. Core inflation is at 2.4%. That's a second straight month it's been under. I mean, maybe during January when Biden was in, it went up. You're right. But no, it did go down. Absolutely. Of course it's going to go down. The economy's tanking. What do you think? Inflation's going to go up? I shouldn't say tanking. The economy's had a little bit of turbulence. Trump with Zelensky.
President Zelensky serve out his offer to purchase more Patriot missile batteries?
Oh, I don't know. He's always looking to purchase missiles. You know, he's against. Listen, when you start a war, you got to know that you can win the war, right? You don't start a war against somebody that's 20 times your size, and then hope that people give you some missiles.
President Zelensky serve out his offer to purchase.
Well, this is from the Patriot missile packages that Zelensky wants to purchase for $15 billion. Zelensky's looking to purchase more missiles from Trump and from the United States, and Trump is getting angry about it. You heard about Zelensky telling Trump to come to Ukraine for a ceasefire. Do you think that's just a photo op? Or, yeah, I don't know what that. It's a waste of time. Why does Trump need to go to Ukraine? This is Douglas Murray. Have you been there? Have you been? You know, so it's like, what's the point, man? Trump doesn't need to go to Ukraine. Let's get the ceasefire done. I mean, Ukraine is the ones that agreed originally to the ceasefire. Let's see if we can get it done. Carney wins, and once the tariffs, USMCA deal is signed, Lib polls will tank because they solely rely on the tariffs. People will turn on them for horrid policy. But yeah, but then, I mean, at that point, Carney's in, though. So it's like, I mean, I think liberals already have extremely low support in Canada as it is after Trudeau. As we become more self-reliant and more industrial, the less we will purchase from around the world, therefore we'll have less power. It was the perfect timing to make changes. Well, I mean, I don't know if there's a perfect time to do this, but we do need more self-sufficiency. I mean, the United States is a global force no matter how isolationist our policies become. You can't deny our military. It's you support Trump, but wish he wouldn't have said Zelensky started the war. When you start a war, you got to know you can win a war. You don't start a war. Yeah, I mean, yeah. You could argue that the West started the war, but I mean, it is factually true. Russia did invade Ukraine. I mean, that is how this war, 2022 to present, started. We can argue, though, going back with NATO expansion. Zelensky did start the war. He kept pushing for NATO. Yeah, I mean, there's multiple ways to interpret it. Obviously, it's a very complex issue. But if we are talking about an invasion, the principle was the invasion by Russia. Do you think taking the Panama Canal by military force would be a good idea since China has a lot of control over it? Well, I mean, you got to watch my video. China is losing control. They're forced to sell the ports surrounding it. Their diplomatic relationship with Panama got ripped up. I don't think it would really be very popular and worth it. As long as we can keep the Panama Canal as basically a puppet, like part ownership with Panama, an invasion would really be unpopular in the United States. The citizens would not like it. I think it would be better if we just kind of had a puppet proxy control over it in a partnership deal with Panama. I mean, we only pay, what do our ships pay in tolls? Like $2.5 billion, $3 billion a year. That's not much. JD dropping the trophy was brutal. Yeah, he got really, I think he thought it was going to shatter or something. Yeah, here it is. Black judge reduces Carmelo Anthony's bond by 75% to $250K, and then they use the money that they raised in GoFundMe's, or I guess whatever the Go Send Go, to bail out Carmelo Anthony, who stabbed Metcalf in the heart. This is like a week and a half later, and he's out on bail. Once more, people are gonna, like, I know a lot of younger people have more. Older people, I can definitely see demographical awareness is what I would say. A lot of younger people have, and older people don't. When do you think the new trade deals will take place? I mean, they're taking place right now. They're going to be signed, but it takes time to do the trade deals. I think Argentina's probably going to be the first one. RCMP set demand. That's not going to happen. They're not going to force him to withdraw Carney. There's going to be a civil war if this keeps happening. I don't know. I mean, we do have. There's a lot of reactionary takes when stuff like this happens, like with race things, and you know, I kind of cool down on it. But yeah, I mean, this is insane, and they're trying to make this kid like the next George Floyd. It's just like, do we know what happened? Did you read the police report? And they're trying to compare it to Rittenhouse and everything. Rittenhouse getting shot at, getting chased. It's just, and then that's what they'll do is they'll do these false equivalencies with other cases and try and compare them to this case. Well, no, there's different variables. There's different ingredients that those cases had that this case didn't. You're creating a false equivalency. What do you think happens first, red New Jersey or blue Texas? It would be red New Jersey. Blue Texas, the population of Texas is way too big at this point. After +14, +15 Trump, it's not going to swing like that. New Jersey is swinging quickly. I don't know if New Jersey can swing enough. Liberals didn't invest anything into New Jersey. That was part of the reason why it swung so fast. But I mean, it's a win-win. So if they keep New Jersey in 2028, at least they have to spend money to keep it, because they're going to have to invest money into New Jersey, I would imagine, unless they just get an amazing 2028 candidate and a weak Republican. Here we go again. O.J. Simpson, number 2. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this plays out, because this will be very public. The whole trial, they'll definitely demand self-defense. We'll see what all the witness statements and everything like that, but from what I saw, I mean, he threatened Metcalf and said, touch me and see what happens. That's not self-defense. You're not scared. If you were scared, you'd be running and you wouldn't be threatening anyone. I think I have that down here. Vivek Vivek from Ohio, JD Vance from Ohio, Trump, the Trump Ohio State. JD Vance, he tries picking it up. That's a weak trophy, man. That's a bad drop by Vance, though. Was that Trevion Henderson right there? Trevion Henderson trying to help him. Oh man, dude fumbles the stand for the trophy. Show the female space crew. There's too much plastic. I don't know. Too much plastic with that crew. Blacks make all these cases about race, whites never. Yeah, but I think it's starting to change. I think there's more racial awareness from whites now. Yeah, that's a really cheap trophy. It's a replica. It's not the real trophy. Trophy design is stupid. It looks like a really flimsy, lightweight trophy. Yeah, the BCS crystal ball was amazing. How do you get rid of that? The crystal ball was a beautiful trophy. It looked like it was like this orb. That's a good way to describe it, orb. Bezos, why is he even bothering against SpaceX? I know it's like a dick measuring contest with billionaires, with Bezos and Musk with their space. But yeah, I mean, it's not even close. And like doing this all female mission, and they're all like the elitist women who think it's like, come on, people don't care about this. New news on X about Argentina's trade deal. Yeah, I mean, but we've known this. Valet says he's ready to sign a new trade deal with the United States. Ecuador now? Oh no, that's not a trade. Yeah. So there'll be a trade deals announced in the coming days, I would imagine, or coming weeks. If Alberta leaves, it will destabilize Canada, probably trigger Quebec to late. Yeah, and then you'd also look at Saskatchewan as well as like a ripple domino effect. I would look at Quebec and Saskatchewan. The national champion gets like 10 trophies. The crystal ball is one of them. It still exists. Yeah, but if you're not going to use it for photo ops, it kind of defeats the purpose of it. You know, it's like the whole point was it's like a beautiful trophy they hold up. Bring back the BCS national championship game. Fuck the playoff. No, the playoffs is better. The championship game is it's retardio because if you have the BCS championship, it's 2 teams. So if a team goes undefeated, it just doesn't make any sense. Like you have to have a playoff. You have to have a playoff, even in college football. I know people get angry, but you have to. His meme coin, yeah, his meme coin came back. What happened to his meme coin? People just forgot about it. That's the thing with meme coins. You can run them and then people just forget. Like people forgot about Trump's meme coin. People forgot about Argentina's coin. What happened with Alberta? Are you waiting a little bit longer? I do want to see some polls on this. Liberal lead dips for first time in Canada election. Yeah, so I think the growing trend with Canada right now is it's tightening up a bit. And that's kind of reflected in terms of this change that we've seen. Because Carney was basically 80-20. Now it's 70-30. So Carney's given up around 10 points in total odds to Paul Vieira because of the recent polling, but he's still the favorite. But I mean, in terms of the news on Alberta, I mean, as far as I know, their premier is a lot more willing to hear the secession talks than she was a few months ago or a month ago. And her tune is changing. And there probably will be a referendum, or possibly will be, if Carney wins. Have you talked about the 9/11 commission questioning yet? No, I haven't. Are they going to release 9/11 docs? If they release anything 9/11, I would imagine it's probably Saudi related. Why are we getting boxed in without the rare earth minerals? What do you mean getting boxed in? What? Because Canada denied. Well, I mean, we knew China was going to do that. Obviously, Trump knew that was going to be a leverage play by them, because they've got, you know, they're the ones that refine all the rare earths. So, I mean, this is just part of a trade war. Obviously, I don't expect it to once the deal gets worked out, we're still going to have access to their rare earths. But to me, it's a bigger picture thing, to where it's like, well, we know that we can't keep having this relationship with China to where they refine all of our rare earths. It just doesn't make any sense. We could refine them in Greenland, honestly, if it came to that, to where it was an environmental problem. But obviously that's down the line if we even acquire Greenland. But the point is, we have to stop this reliance on China, because we have a lot of rare earths. We can get rare earths, we just can't refine them. At least not right now. We don't have the infrastructure set up for it. And that's why Trump apparently is investing $15 billion into doing it. Alberta can join Egypt. You don't think it's a good idea to let a bunch of liberals join the country? Alberta's not liberal. I mean, they're not like absurdly conservative, but they would be more conservative. It's not. I mean, what you're saying is like Quebec or Ontario. Certainly, you don't want them. Saying 9/11 was an inside job on Tucker. Well, I mean, dude, like, they simplify that stuff, and that's the other thing, is like the JQ stuff. It all gets so simplified, and it's like, dude, it's, well, I mean, there's a lot to an inside job. Do you think Trump wants these European countries to get overrun? That's why he likes the liberal politicians giving mass asylum to future European refugees. There's no way that Trump could possibly think that far ahead. You're saying Trump wants this to happen so we could get a bunch of European white refugees? No. Trump wants Carney to win because he'd be easier to deal with. He's more of a pushover. Paul Vieira is more Canadian first. Why would America want a more nationalist leader in Canada to where we get a worse deal? And where Paul Vieira actually has a spine to where he'll stand up for Canada, at least to a degree, as much as he possibly can. So obviously you're going to want Carney. You're always going to want the liberal. I mean, unless there's like a select circumstance to where the dynamic is so weird with Canada, because they're like, now they're nationalist, but they're voting for the liberals, so it's funny. Because Trump threatened to annex them. Main Street poll in Canada has conservatives leading. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. With this, we'll see what happens. To me, it's probably like 50-50. I don't have a really great read on it. If you look at the overall polling, probably Carney has a slight lead, but Paul Vieira was winning, had like a 90% chance to win at the start of the year. So, I mean, it's not like, I mean, there's a lot of disgruntled Canadians who are moderately liberal that'll vote probably for Paul Vieira. We just need to end college degrees. College is the only important for the most educated, like doctors, engineering, and stuff. The rest is just trade. Yeah, I mean, but you're speaking to the choir. I mean, I think that's a very common viewpoint that, all right, well, if you're going to be a lawyer, if you're going to be a doctor, if you're going to be an engineer, something like that, you need qualifications, you need schooling, you need to learn. But some of these other things, like there should be select. I just think all of these institutions, it's such a business type thing to where, you know, if you're a kid and you're getting a degree for something so generic, like general studies, or I mean, whatever it is, we've heard of all like the famous ridiculous degrees. It's just such a horrible return on investment. It's not worth it. They're making a big deal about the Salvadorian being sent to his home country, which is the safest. Yeah. Well, dude, you know how it is. It was like I mean, the Trump administration said it was an administrative error, so they're going to really hammer that because the thing is with Trump is they really haven't. I almost wonder, is it even possible for Trump to do mass deportations? I'm not even sure it's possible unless, and that's why they had to bring out that law from 1798, the Alien Enemies Act, because like you start doing these deportations, there's all of these court cases, there's all of this litigation that drags everything down from liberal judges that weren't elected. I mean, we elected Trump to do mass deportations and he's not allowed to do it. It's like, well, these people need to have their rights. Well, I mean, if there's like 20 million illegals in the country, how are we supposed to do all of this? How many court cases are there going to be? So I'm not even sure if they can actually, under what our current judicial system, I'm not even sure it's possible to deport this many people without there being just a massive backlog in cases. I don't know. Maybe they could find a way around. I mean, they're trying to find ways around it. They're sending all these people to El Salvador. Well, they're only sending like the really bad. It's like a return to sender. This is an El Salvadorian citizen. Once the debate is done, Paul Beer should rise more. Yeah, Carney cannot. He can barely talk. He's gonna get straight. I was listening to Carney today. He sounds like AI, complete AI. It's almost like weird how close he is to like an AI voice. Went to Target yesterday, so disappointed. Same crappy sets from last 3 years. Are you talking about Lego sets? Dude, Lego sets are just so expensive. It's ridiculous. It's a joke at this point. Did you already play Trump spat with CNN? Haven't seen it yet. I mean, if you guys want me to go over that again, I'll go over it. I did do a video on it where I pretty much went over it. But the dynamic of it was just CNN was trying to do an I gotcha on Trump because of the El Salvador. I mean, it's stupid. It's like one individual, but they're going to make a huge deal about it. And I already saw, you know, you'll see liberals, and I went on some of their pages, and they're saying it's like the worst thing ever, and the fact that they're calling for impeachment and all this, and of course, I mean, they'll call for impeachment on anything Trump does, no matter what. Thankfully, they don't have power in either chamber. Show us Trump going off on CNN. I don't even think he went off, honestly. He said they're like fake news and they don't like the country. I mean, this is pretty much what Trump always says. Biden sounds better than Carney. Nah, I mean, Biden was mentally done. I can't agree with that. But yeah, I mean, Carney sounds bad. But Biden's another level because just the cognitive ability was not there anymore. If they are illegal aliens, why do they have rights? They aren't citizens. Yeah, but you know, it comes down to the Constitution. I think everyone is giving a certain right, and it depends on who's. When it comes to this individual, he like had protection, and so that's why they're angry about it. You know, if this was just an illegal immigrant, I don't think it'd be a problem, but. CNN still thinks it's 2017 to 2021, where people were easily susceptible to the lies. Yeah, I mean, they're just trying to grift off of Trump. I mean, they're obviously liberal, so they're going to question why the administration made a mistake or whatever, but they were able to handle it. What's for dinner? I don't really eat dinner, honestly. I mean, I had a piece of chicken, I guess, with some gravy or something. I don't even know. Would New Jersey have flipped if Biden was the candidate? I mean, you can't really predict. People say Biden would have done better than Kamala. He probably would have done worse just because, there was nothing there at the end with Biden, but it would have been similar, I think. I don't know if it would have flipped, but it would have been close. Yeah, that's a good point. Talking about the difference between conservatives and liberals, and you know what, with liberals, it really is a tribe. So they say like, well, it's a cult with Trump. Liberals just have a cult with just liberalism and just the party, because they always show up to those elections, those special elections. They crush Republicans. That's why when it's low turnout, it's always very good for liberals, because they always show up no matter what. And then if the conservatives show up, then it'll be higher turnout. It'll be good for conservatives, at least when it comes to, but it's like it's a worship thing. Remember, a lot of these people are atheists, so they say we've replaced because most people want fulfillment. They find God. It's something to believe in, and they've replaced that with a party. So they believe in liberalism. They believe in the Democratic Party. So they've replaced it with that, and that's another big problem. And that's why there's such a cohort of them who vote in just everything. They're very radical. Bernie Sanders, yeah, you see the dynamic with Bernie Sanders and AOC. I wonder what that is. I mean, I don't see Bernie being a candidate. He's too old for 2028, but I guess they're trying to get AOC's, like, the young, further left kids. They love AOC, and they're trying to bring the Bernie crowd and bridge it to AOC, and so that's why they have Bernie and AOC doing these rallies together. And it's all, liberal Act Blue funded. It's saw Fartcoin was still mooning. Is it a good news for Memecoins? Yeah, I mean, I think Memecoins are going to do a lot better once we get these rate cuts and everything. I mean, it's been a terrible time in the market just in general with all these tariffs and stuff, and nobody thought the coins would go as low as they did, especially if this is still technically a bull run, although, I mean, I guess you would still classify it as that depending on what happens over the next 5 or 6 months. Better described as a cult. Well, yeah, but it's like they just say that about Trump people, which, I mean, yeah, there are some Trump people that just loyally support everything he does no matter what. But you're gonna get that with any party. I mean, that's just the reality. It's just they hate Trump so much, so they have to hit the supporters with like these caricatures. What would happen to the national parks in Alberta? Would they come with the deal? Technically, they are owned by the federal government. The crown land is owned by the King of England. Well, all that would have to be worked out. I think the ideal situation is we would own Alberta as a territory. So we would take on all of that unless there's a different relationship. We would still be given ownership of whatever Canada has ownership of if we took Alberta. I mean, I guess there could be deals that could be worked out, but we would have ownership of all of the land outside of, like, I don't know, a crazy stipulation that in terms of their national parks, I don't know, but the idea is they would be a territory and it would be a process to make them a state. Did you see the conservative lady reporter get beat up by Canadian police today? No, I didn't see that. If the Tugger 9/11 thing takes off, Americans will get really loud about Epstein. What wouldn't be done to protect clients? You're scared to imagine. But what do you mean the Tugger 9/11 thing? I mean, what did they say exactly about it? Do you like grapefruits? I'm kind of indifferent on grapefruits, honestly. Probably, I'd say, like 60% dislike them, 40% like them. Does Vivek going to the White House mean he still likes Trump? I mean, obviously, Vivek is under Trump. Vivek is MAGA. Trump endorsed Vivek as for the governor of Ohio in that race. The fact that Canada still has a foreign head of state, although powerless with the King of England, is absurd. Yeah. Well, I mean, if they're powerless, it's just like ceremonial thing, but it's still stupid. Northern Alberta is a great place for a U.S. base close to Arctic. Yeah, I know, but then you get even further and you take the territories above it. But I agree, Northern Alberta would be good for Arctic influence. You think it's just a troll by Trump? He's good at getting things worked up. Yeah, well, I mean, I think all of Canada has to be a troll. There's no way you would want to do that. It just doesn't make sense. Yeah, this is the spat that happened today. Ever been inside a Hooters? I think Hooters went bankrupt or something. I don't know. That was a rumor. Do you think Byron Donalds will win the Florida governor race? I mean, they really do. You know, that's another DeSantis versus Trump battle. It's proxy battle because it's Casey against Byron Donalds, who's endorsed by Trump. I think Donalds will probably win, but I know Florida really likes the DeSantis family. Would taking Western Canada cripple Eastern Canada? Yeah, I think Eastern Canada would probably fall apart. Well, Quebec may become independent. They've already pushed for independence several different times, especially recently, like in '95. So that's a problem you have to deal with. You know, if you end up taking them, say I have this map right here. You know, if we whether it's these three, whether it's just these two, Alberta, Saskatchewan, or these three with British Columbia, or also Manitoba, you know, you'd probably cripple these provinces. This map's a little bit different. It has a new province because it splits up Ontario, but you get the gist of it. But I would say just Alberta and then maybe Saskatchewan. And Quebec would be probably just become their independent owned country if Alberta left. But I mean, it's all just speculation. Is there any movies in 2025 that interest you that you might check out, like Superman or Fantastic Four movies? Yeah, I really haven't seen much that would really intrigue me. I would be up for a good space movie. I would be up for an alien movie, but there's no alien movies or anything like that. I mean, horror movies I'll see. I don't have a problem seeing horror movies. I like those. I like a good scare in the theater. It's a fun time, but there's, you know how movies are, man. I don't want to keep saying the same shit about movies, but they're just so bad nowadays. At least in theaters, there's no investment into the movies, and then they come out on streaming basically immediately, like instant streaming. You think Manitoba would be a swing state? Well, it's depicted as a swing state. It's very light blue, but I mean, I'd say it's slightly more liberal than Alberta or Saskatchewan. The new Superman is full DEI. Yeah, aren't they all now? Most of them are. It seeps into all the movies. That's the problem. Female space launch. I mean, I really don't care about it, but you're going up in a spaceship that is built and paid for by a company that single-handedly is destroying the planet. Well, here is the women power. Are they going to the space station? No, they're going on an 8-minute joyride. What a joke. Do you think there is still a scenario where the whole of Canada would be annexed? Also, do you think Stephen A. Smith is running for president in 2028? Well, we wouldn't want all of Canada to be annexed. I wouldn't want that because they'd be liberal if they voted in American elections. I don't know about overwhelm, but a lot of the provinces would be liberal. So, I mean, that would happen if Eastern Canada got crippled to the point where there was really no choice but to join the United States. But Stephen A., I think, is grifting. He's obsessed with attention. These are grown-ass men that love attention. Portnoy is very similar to him. They just want to always be in the news. They want to be talked about. You know, they just love attention. So he wants to have attention. That dude is in over his head in terms of running for president. He thinks just because Trump did it, he can. Trump was a businessman. The dude's a clown. When's the 9/11 Iceberg Part 2? I mean, dude, you know, I actually have the topics done. Do you want me to read you the topics that I have for the Part 2? I gotta see if I can find it. It's in my notes. But I'm not sure I'm even gonna do it, because I did this a while ago. I have this Titanic video here as well. I don't know if I can find it. No, I'm not gonna read it off, but yeah, I mean, dude, there's a lot. I could do like probably 4 parts of it. I mean, it would probably be cool to do it just to have the research on it. Blue Origin, all female crew. You fear the worst for that launch. Well, it's all it's all computerized anyways. You know, they don't do anything. It's like it's like an 8-minute joyride. That's what it is. It's a photo op. People know it's disingenuous. It's they look fake or AI or something. There's a lot of plastic surgery going on with that photo. That's why. Onion rings or mozzarella sticks. I mean, mozzarella sticks I think are really good, but the problem with mozzarella sticks is they're always so really hot because the cheese inside is very hot. That becomes a problem. It's like you never find a really good mozzarella stick with the right temperature. It's always either too hot or it's too cold, especially if you make them by yourself. I used to make mozzarella sticks. I haven't had mozzarella sticks in a while. But I would probably, I mean, the onion rings I'm not a fan of. It's grease, and I'll say mozzarella sticks. Do you think front running the 9/11 coin before September 11th would be a good buy? You think it could 5 or 10x? Well, I mean, which one? The inside job coin? It wouldn't even be about 9/11. It would be more about Trump saying they're going to release documents related to that. That's why you would front run it. But I mean, I have some coins that I like. I'll talk about them later. You know, people will wait another hour and then I'll talk about them. Ronald Anthony was released to jail. I talked about it. Yeah, it's just how ridiculous it is. You know, they released him. I would imagine if the bond was $250K, that was paid for through the donations that he got after killing Metcalf. It's just just the wickedness of it all, and people are waking up to it. White people are. Gotta use air fryer for mozzarella sticks. Yeah. Well, when I was younger, we didn't have an air fryer or anything like that. I know air fryers are really, really kind of the big thing in now. I mean, this is like, it's all so dumb. Weed coin tanking? Oh, is it seriously? Wow, I mean, you would think it would go up. Oh my dude. I mean, hopefully it holds support. I don't know why it would be tanking right now with like a week left. Nah, I think it's gonna have to hold support. Hopefully, I need that coin to do well, really bad. Ben was crying about Ron not doing enough on anti-Semitism even after he went to Israel. Yeah, well, that congressman is a buffoon. Those are the congressmen that are being hopefully phased out of the Republican Party. I know he just won, so it sounds backwards, but it's terrible, man. Will Meta be forced to sell Instagram or WhatsApp in 2025? 17% chance. OpenAI, Google, XAI, DeepSeek. Imagine if the situation was reversed with Aston Metcalf stabbing Carmelo Anthony, the left would have to. Well, I mean, yeah, that's the crazy thing. No matter which way it goes, the black kid killing the white kid killing the black kid, it's the same thing with these people. I mean, look at it. The kid's out on bail. The bail was reduced by 75%, and they paid for his bail using the money that they raised after he murdered the white kid. Who's the main guys that need to be primaryed in 2026? Cornyn with Ken Paxton, hopefully. Well, I guess that's happening now. Wasn't Josh Shapiro gleefully signing his autograph on War Middle East? No, I don't think it was Middle East. It wasn't for Israel. It was for Ukraine. But no, because I thought it was Israel, and then I remembered. I think it was with Zelensky. Zelensky was there. But yeah, that's how crazy it is with Shapiro. But I mean, his house got burned down, and some like it looks like rabid leftists did it. I mean, the left is just obsessed with violence, and they allow the violence. I mean, go back to George Floyd, and they supported it, and all the people came out and they were like, "Yes, this needs to happen." $2 billion in damage. January 6th happens, it's $2 million, and it's like the worst thing in history. And there's like 25 people that died with BLM riots, and one person, it was a Trump supporter that died during January 6th. So the double standard is just remarkable. Now they're firebombing these Tesla dealerships. Chuck Schumer won't even come out and say, no, it's bad, you shouldn't do it. People actually use real money on Polymarket. Now I think most people just use crypto and shit. You can do it through crypto. Do you like Red Bull? I never really had much of a Red Bull when I had energy drinks. I would drink Monster mainly. I don't know. I might try and get back on energy drinks. So many people have energy drinks. It is supposed to help you, but I don't know. I'd have to probably do like low caffeine. Maybe just like, I don't know if they have like 100. I think it's 200 milligrams of caffeine is like a small Red Bull. Monster, what is it, like 250 or 200? Monsters taste good. The zero sugar Monsters are really fucking good. I don't know how they make them so good. Like, if you have Diet Pop has just gotten so nasty. But, like, Monster Zero Sugar is, like, amazing somehow. But but the problem with, like, Monster or any of that, you can feel your teeth decaying. And you guys, you know what I'm talking about, because it's just, like, acid. It tastes good, but it tastes like acid on your teeth. That's the problem with it. Bang is 300. Yeah, I thought Bang, like, went out of business. Dude, Bang was crazy. I didn't even like what Bang tasted like. It tasted like shit. Bang Energy. Celsius. Yeah, Celsius is like a bridge in between. I think Celsius is a little bit lower in terms of caffeine. Coke Zero is good. Yeah, Coke Zero is better than Diet Coke. I don't know. Old people love Diet Coke, though. But I would say Coke Zero definitely is better, because Coke Zero mimics Coke. Diet Coke is like a whole nother drink. And I think Diet Coke, I could not drink Diet Coke. Just regular. Concerned about the bird flu, just another distraction campaign. Weird how RFK flipped his stints and fast-tracked the vaccine. I don't think bird flu has really been a huge problem. I haven't heard really anyone talking about it. Are the cases on that going up? I didn't see anything on that. What about Prime energy drink? I never had it. The Prime stuff came after I got done drinking all the energy shit. I haven't had energy drinks in years. Bang made your piss cloudy. Apparently it's the creatine. Yeah, they put creatine in an energy drink. Bro. You drink club soda, you get the yeah, I can't drink that though, because there's no taste to it. Just like carbonated water. When I was younger, I was on vacation in Hilton Head, and I was so thirsty. I'll never forget this. I was so thirsty. You know, we were at like it wasn't a hotel, it was a like condo, and it was rented for a week or whatever. You know, when you're on vacation, that's what it is. And I went to the fridge, and this was like the thirstiest. And I never normally do that meme where everyone's like, oh, you get up at like 2 a.m. and you're really thirsty. I've never had that happen outside of this moment. But I went to the fridge, and I thought I was getting water. You know, it was like one of those, like a big plastic liter or half liter, whatever. And it was like this flavored water. And it was like the worst. I mean, I look back on it, it was just like grape flavored water or something. But there was no carbonation to it either. So it was this like really weird where but it was just so bad. And I think it was because I was so thirsty, along with the fact that I thought it was just pure water. And I was like, what is this? It tasted like, I don't even know, like Play-Doh or something. It was just like, but it probably wasn't that bad. But when you're younger, it tastes worse. How high will the yield go? I mean, it's at its high point right now, man. 4.6%, 4.8%. Hell no. No, I think it probably reached its high point. Andre, what's up, man? Let's chat. You're a business manager, accountant, registered investment advisor, content creator. Be careful with the shitcoins. I mean, what do you mean? I mean, I appreciate the advice on the shitcoins, man. But I'm really not looking for anyone to manage my portfolio right now. I just have a crypto portfolio anyways. How do you know what Play-Doh tastes like? When I was younger, I think I had Play-Doh once, because it's like colorful. You know, it's colorful. So when I was younger, I had it, but I mean, I don't think that's actually what it tasted like, but. Trump ends the war. Yeah, this is wait. Who was the one dude? The one dude that had this. Yeah, man, it's tough. You need something to come out in these next few days. This is probably a good. Well, this is just a ceasefire. Was this even? This went up to around 50%. Trying to stop dumping bonds, or they ran out. You think yield is down 3% today? I don't think the yield is gonna go. That was an aberration spike by the yield. What do you mean it's down 3% though? Super Action General, what's up, man? We need to see the females launch video. I don't know. Did they show it? I mean, you think Blue Origin account would show it? So we'll see. Oh, they even have a woman.
4. Command engine start. 2, 1. Ignition.
But why is it not painted pink?
Liftoff.
Why is there not a gay pride flag on it?
New Shepard has cleared the tower.
And there it goes. You think Trump might fold to China to get rare earths? No, I mean it's not like that with rare earths. I mean, rare earths are important, and we don't have the current refinement to be able to produce them to the degree that we need to. But no, it's not. That's just a component of this trade war. And there'll be a deal that's reached, and both sides will claim that they won, but we'll have to see what it ends up being. Is there a 9/11 coin? The main one that I've seen is called Inside Job, related to 9/11. There's like several coins. Because I was looking at it because I was wondering if there was going to be any news or, like an Epstein Files type thing. Remember the Epstein coin? I was looking at that for 9/11. But I mean, they I don't think they would really release a ton. I mean, they'll give breadcrumbs, though, like Biden did. Why don't you just drink coffee instead of energy drinks? Yeah, I used to drink coffee. I drink like iced coffee. But I mean, energy drinks are they are important as a pre-workout for sure. You can do coffee pre-workout. If you're working out, energy drinks are pretty. You can utilize energy drinks just fine. The whole point of the tariff is to be self-reliant. Why would Trump fold to get rare earth? Well, I mean, the rare earth infrastructure has to be developed. You don't develop it in a day. So we're still relying on China no matter what we do. We could invest in rare earth refinement tomorrow, and I think it would take time to actually be able to develop the amount that we need, the output that we need. Because, I mean, we get, like, in total 90% from China. Even the ones that we get, they go to China for refinement. That's the problem. We could privately chat in detail, but as you scale, you're going to need airtight accounting and tax planning and HNWI, high net worth individuals. Well, this has gotten awkward. I mean, you can shoot me a Gmail. Did you see that the report that 60% of Coachella attendees financed their tickets How do you have to take out a loan to go out to Coachella? You shouldn't be going. Yeah, and didn't Bernie Sanders come out on stage on that too? It's just insane. Like, I thought it was for music and dancing and all this bullshit, and then they bring out Bernie Sanders. They make it political. It's all these young liberal kids. He has the female video of it. All right, I'll look at it. Dude's got a Cybertruck. Come on, bro. That is ultimate simpage. Yeah, there it is with Vance. Oh.
It is the highest high, and it is surrender to the unknown, trust, and this whole journey is not just about going to space. It's the training, it's the team, it's the whole thing. I couldn't recommend this experience more. This is like up there with all the, different tools that I've learned in my life, from meditation to the Hoffman process. This is up there because...
Yeah. Katy Perry talking about it. Refining rare earths is a dirty business, likely wouldn't pass EPA scrutiny in the... Well, that's why they haven't done it. That's why they send it to China to do it. So that's why we would do the refinement on Greenland or something. I don't know. Rare earths have been an issue so long strategically. Why does it take us so long for us to realize we can't rely on China? Well, because it just comes down to access. They give us an access to their markets and to the refinement that they have, and so that's why we use them. But obviously, it's not. It's what I would call an unhealthy relationship that's doomed in the long run because they're an adversary. So the idea that we would rely on them so much for such critical production of things, it doesn't make any sense. Sounds like Kamala. Dude, like I was trying to watch this. I didn't even listen to it. It's just a whole lot of nothing. I mean, it's like, well, it's so amazing. Okay. I mean, he has the video. Well, I mean, what video is it? Was there like a huge video of them like freaking twerking outside of it or something?
And you will see a puff of smoke when it touches down. A puff of dust.
Actually, yes.
That's normal.
A puff of dust last millisecond.
Is this the video you're talking about?
Air cushion.
Or is there a
tip
different
of the
video?
dust. It's a very soft landing despite the sporty perception. There it is.
Oh my goodness. Oh, they're landing. Sometimes they say we imprisoned thousands. I like to say we liberated millions. Bukele, what a savage. Yeah, well, you see, liberals were very pissed off at him because he took Trump's side and said he's not giving the immigrant that was deported back. They got really angry at him. Yeah, they hate him. Yeah, they just start screaming. Phoenix Trailing building a clean rare earth refinery. But how can you do it clean? Wouldn't that cost more money? To do it environmentally friendly, to refine rare earths environmentally friendly. I mean, yeah, you could try and do it. I'm sure they are. I mean, I know they're making investments into trying to do it. It was right there. Oh my goodness. Dude, these people are trolling me. I mean, I don't even care about this video. Like, I think we have more rare earths than they're telling us. Yeah, we've got massive deposits of rare earths. We just can't refine them because of environmental concerns. And also, we don't have the correct process set up to be able to do it right now. Oh, I'm gonna have to play this video right here, and I gotta go to the bathroom, and I'm gonna get more water. I'm gonna lose some of my followers or some of my viewers. I understand that, but I'm not gonna sit here and hold my piss in for an hour. So I'll be right back.
The world cheats us. They've been cheating us for decades. They cheat us with tariffs, higher tariffs. But more importantly, they cheat us with the so-called non-tariff barriers. It's the VAT taxes, the dumping, the currency manipulation, the technical barriers that keep our autos out of Japan, the agricultural barriers that keep our pork out of Australia or Europe. They're doing that to the tune of $1.2 trillion of wealth a year that we transfer now abroad. And $18 trillion of wealth since we started running deficits. You know how much $18 trillion of America that could buy? So that's the problem we're grappling with. So we have a strategy here where the president says we're going to charge them what they charge us. And the analytical issue is it's easy to calculate the tariff differential, but the non-tariff barriers are so much higher. So that's what we set, knowing full well that a lot of countries would come right to us and want to bargain. We've got 90 deals in 90 days possibly pending here, and it was par for the course. Actually, it was a birdie for President Trump to do exactly what he did, which was pause for 90 days, and we're going to get this done for the American people.
I want to talk
Oh. No, I'm not drinking juice. I'm drinking water, man. There goes 25% of my viewers. Yeah, I'll do some crypto analysis. That'll really thin them out. That'll really thin the nerd. I start my crypto analysis tonight in 15 minutes. I can still see the sky out. Sean, what's up? The whale enters. The whale makes his presence known. Oh, this is a nice photo. This is a nice picture. That's a nice photo with the sky. That's a beautiful white. You only lost 30. It's impossible for me not to lose. Guys, like the stream. I do have it pinned up here, though. I have it pinned. You know, you want to know something? I never tell people to like the video when I do the videos. But then I told them twice I said to like the video. I was like, this is a call to action. Please like the video. And I did get a lot of likes. I'll be fair to you people. I appreciate it. Because I was like, I was getting like, I think the video got like 22K views, and I had 22,000 views, and I had 2,800 likes. So if you have 100 likes per 1,000 views, that's good. That's how I measure it. So I'm averaging like more than that. If I have to tell people, though, I have to remember to tell people. Yeah, the photo looks AI because it's so good. No, it doesn't look AI. I can tell that it's real. It's just a really nice looking photo. Yeah, kind of it because of just how beautiful it looks. It does kind of look a little AI. It looks like it's blended up here, like in some AI thing. Oh boy. Oh, an Obama judge just blocked one of Trump's cancellations of Biden's policy to be able to deport people. Oh, it was a Obama judge. We voted for an Obama judge to rule the country. That's right. And then they say this is a constitution. This is court of law. You think they'll tweet out Trans Visibility Month on Easter like last year? You remember that shit? There was a dude a few years back that invented a car that would run off water, and now he's dead. A hydraulic car. I've seen some videos of things like that. But it, you know, obviously if it could be done, it would be done. I don't think there's a conspiracy against that. Vincent, thank you for the $20. Ryan Day seemed upset at JD Vance. Yeah, Ryan Day is, you know, people get mad at Ryan Day because he dyes his beard. Because he gets gray hair and then he dyes his beard. You got to give Ryan Day credit. I mean, that was an incredible run that he went on after the Michigan loss, though, to be honest. I mean, that's a good Ohio State team.
But then I've also seen Letnick and others talk about this idea of, well, maybe there's external revenue that we can drive and be able to use that. And so, like, how are you guys maybe from a framework standpoint thinking about, okay, what are the ways that we could go buy more Bitcoin?
Well, I think that Senator Lummis has really an interesting idea with the Bitcoin Act of 2025, which I know has taken the community by storm. But here, what you would do is you'd revalue the gold certificates that we currently have at Treasury. Most of which are valued, I think, around like $43 an ounce, which is, you know,
a lot lower than what it's really worth.
Correct. Yeah. So now we're sitting at what, $3,100 an ounce, with being the price of gold. And if you took that value, what you could do is use that extra funding in order to buy more Bitcoin that could be used for the reserve. But that's just one idea. And, you know, that's currently circulating its way through Capitol Hill, and we'll see how many co-sponsors she can get and how she can pull her colleagues on board. But we're looking at many creative ways, whether it be from, you know, tariffs, whether it be from something else. I mean, there's literally
I think that you're wrong.
Well, wait.
We're going to do a Q.
No, you can ask a question.
We're going to do a Q&A. And then you like it? For sure.
And please ask a question.
Of course.
Yes.
No, I don't think the trophy broke. Google the image Jamie Raskin, the dummy, had used to escape from Alcatraz. Do a split screen of the two live right now. You want to see something? Dude, that was a good movie, Escape from Alcatraz. I saw that on Netflix when I was younger. That was a really good older movie. They should that would be a good movie to remake. I know people don't like remakes. Your pops is a boomer and won't shut up about BTC. He literally puts all of his money and tells me to get into it. Is he wrong? But BTC, I mean, I think BTC is a safe, it's the safest crypto you can buy. I think BTC will do well, but it's not going to be life-changing money, man. It's way too high in market cap. It's just way too high. But you might get a 2.5x off of it. I'd say maybe a 250K top this cycle. But I mean, and there's going to be a lot less volatility to it because of the ETFs. So it'll probably go back down, but I don't think it's going to, the thing is with BTC is it's not going to go down as much, but it's also not going to go, you know, in terms of multiples, it's not going to go up 10x, 20x, 30x. I would almost say in terms of BTC versus the stock market, yeah, BTC is still better if you're talking about S&P. I mean, it depends when you buy it. If you buy it at the top, then no, it's going to be worse, but... You see libs going nuts for Sanders AOC in 2028. What's your thoughts? Do you think Sanders is too old? Yeah, I think what they're doing is that they're passing the Sanders young energized crowd to AOC. I don't think they're going to have Sanders run. Sanders, his last shot would have been 2020. And you could say, well, they rigged it against him, but he's too old. But I mean, I guess the dynamic would be Sanders would be the VP. Like with Sanders, I don't know. I mean, I guess you could argue, but they're both socialist. So how does that work? To me, that's like a double negative. You have AOC, you need someone that's really moderate. That's preferably like a white dude. I mean, I guess Bernie's a white dude, but Bernie's also really old. I don't really see how that jives. I think it's more so they're trying to pass the Bernie supporters to AOC, and then AOC will have all the young, energized, like socialist left-wing crowd, and then you would go with like a bullshit milquetoast moderate Dem, or it'd be like Jon Stewart and AOC, or Shapiro and AOC, but I think Shapiro's nothing special. Oh, brother, where art thou? Better than Escape from Alcatraz? I don't know. I mean, I like Escape from Alcatraz. Do you plan on doing any more stadium videos soon? I mean, what even stadium videos are there, man? It's like, you know, I've really left that genre at this point. If there's like a huge thing, I mean, I did do a stadium video on the Commanders and it got like 150k views, which was pretty surprising to me. But that was a while ago, though. I mean, I think I've pretty much tarred and feathered my algorithm in terms of any sports. I'm not sure I'll be able to do much sports videos anymore, guys, because I don't think they're going to be pushed by the algorithm. I don't think people really want to see it from me. At least most people don't. You know, it's all turned into politics. And I mean, maybe I'll do one stadium video, see how well it does. VP will be someone like Jasmine Crockett. AOC would not let a moderate on her ticket. Well, there's no way in hell that AOC would be paired with Crockett. They would not do that. Catch you later going shopping for Omaha Steaks. All right, man. I'll see ya. Bitcoin is just to maintain your purchasing power due to inflation and the US dollar being devalued over time. If you look at the US, I know, I mean, it is what it is. I still like having money in the bank, honestly, personally. I mean, obviously you need investments for sure. But with Bitcoin, it's, even when you take out Bitcoin, you're going to get taxed on it. So it's like, sad to see Auburn and Florida's football programs go into free fall. Well, the SEC is a tough conference. But Florida, you know, I mean, both Auburn and Florida have gotten like relative hype the past few years, but they haven't done anything. You only follow the politics, to be honest. Yes, still like your stadium vids. Yes, sorry, sports are boring. Ditch the sports. Well, I mean, obviously, this is my streams are political, so my sports fans are not going to be in here. What about basketball or football coverage this season going? I don't know if it's going away or not. I haven't decided. I mean, but that's not even close to, you know, we're not even close to football season to where those predictions happen. Chili saw a video of Trump and Little X. It's so wholesome. Yeah, well, they've really been having Little X. They've really been rolling Little X out, and it certainly is good, you know, in terms of like feel good moments with him and Trump and Elon. You should only talk sports during playoffs. I mean, I don't think that would really work either. I mean, it's not how channels work. Channels, you got to have like a niche, and then because if you do videos outside of it, it's not going to get many views. It's going to get really bad click-through rate, everything like that. Do you think countries selling U.S. Treasury weaken the dollar even more, like EU, China, or do you think it will be temporary due to the trade war? Well, actually, let me look it up. Somebody told me it went back down. I haven't seen it recently. $3.7. What did it hit? 3 point or excuse me, 4.3. It hit 4.7 or 4.8 almost. Yeah, I mean the hope is that that was an aberration sell-off. And from how I read it, they were forced to sell the treasuries, and so they dumped a lot of them. But also it is a tactic that they used and successfully used to a degree, because it had Trump reevaluate the entire situation. This was the indicator that forced Trump, I think, to remove the tariffs off of, you know, the crazy tariffs that were on all these countries. My guess is that Trump probably wanted to negotiate with these countries with the heavy tariffs still on, but this spiked up to whatever it was, 4.5, 4.6%, with the market crashing. And so that's when Trump decided to alleviate all of the tariffs outside of the ones on China. And then once he did that, the market went back up. It had that crazy day where it was like a historic day in terms of how much it gained. You're my only source on Cleveland Browns stadium news. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a niche thing with that type of stuff, but I think the Browns are going to go ahead and do that. They're going to go ahead and do $2.2 billion in grants frozen by Trump's administration after rejecting demands. Does that have to do with like Israel and protests and shit? Ugh. You should definitely cover the World Cup next year since it's in North America. We'll be able to watch it at a decent time. I know, but I really don't like soccer. That's the problem. But I mean, I know everyone gets into the World Cup, even when it's in other countries and it's a different time zone. So yeah, the World Cup's going to be huge next year for the United States and North America in general. We need to get some deals announced and rates lower to get the markets booming. I mean, to me, it's guaranteed those things are going to be happening. Like, those things will happen. And then liquidity will be pumped into the market. Gold and silver will always be good investments. They're used in AI and tech. Yeah, but you're not going to make a fortune off of investments, gold and silver. I mean, you could use it as a hedge against inflation. But Bitcoin would probably be a hedge, like the other dude was saying. It depends when you buy Bitcoin. That's the thing. My cat is trying to get in the room. I can hear him. Epstein files. Yeah, right. Dude, I was looking at that. Here, I'll show you guys since it's towards the end of the stream. Dude, come on with this. Like, seriously. You can't give me one coin. How does this coin drop this much? Like, I guess it's just a triggered sell-off by people. But it's crazy to me how, I mean, hopefully it recoups and goes back up. It was a nice accumulation too, but we'll have to see what happens. I really would like this coin to do well. Like, I really need this coin to do well. I'm getting sick and tired of doing this with this, but yeah, I've got this. This is what I made. These are all like the trades that I want to do. The Epstein coin is just, you know, it is what it is. There has to be news. We have to get news. If we get news, it'll probably do a 6 or 7x. But we need news. And there's going to have to, I mean, there's going to have to be a reporter that says, you said there's a phase 2. So what's the status on that? That's really the question that we need to have asked. But yeah, I really need this coin to go back up. I mean, come on. Like, it's not even 420 yet. How does it tank? Are people selling it a week before? Doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. Really disappointed in cash, all talk. Yeah, well, when you get to the actual position, it's a little bit different. Weedcoin stabilized around 1.2. It doesn't look like it's stabilized. It looks like maybe it found some type of support. I don't know. I mean, we was support in what form, though? The coin's like 12 days old. You got to get out of Weedcoin before 419. Yeah, probably. Hopefully it goes back up. Smokemon coin? Is that actually a coin? Smokemon? There's a 420 coin. You're going to rotate on it Thursday. People front running Weedcoin hard. Yeah, but how are you front running a coin 6 days before the actual thing? This is I just hate doing it with these coins based around news or something, because you're talking about front running a coin a week in advance. Like, why can't it just be like a fart coin to where it just goes up to like 100 million or something? Like, I mean, come on. But we can't have that. What's the 420 coin though? Powerpuff Girls, you ever see it? What was it, on Cartoon Network? Maybe when I was younger, I think. I didn't really watch much of Cartoon Network. Or what was the other thing? That might have been just Cartoon Network. I didn't watch a ton of that type of stuff. I watched Nickelodeon mainly. Teen Neck, things like that. You have a Schwab account. What app is used for Bitcoins? It's just Coinbase. I mean, you could buy Bitcoins and some... You could buy Bitcoins on pretty much anywhere at this point, I'm guessing. Robinhood. Boomerang and Cartoon Network. I never really watched Boomerang. I was watching C-SPAN. I probably first watched politics when I was 13, but barely. Use Phantom. Yeah, I agree. I think Phantom's really good for buying and selling. Dude, it works really well. Uniswap's a pain in the ass. That's why people are leaving Ethereum. $420 is a year old. Yeah, I know what coin that is. I'm not really a fan of that coin. I don't think it's... I mean, I understand you're saying, well, it's a year old, so it's... To have more price history, it's better. I don't know. Kraken, I like Kraken as well. Would you have voted for Al Gore or W. Bush? I mean, dude, it's crazy to think about where the Republican I mean, where both parties were, you know, in 2000, 2001. W. Bush was just so bad, but like retrospectively, I mean, before the election happened, thoughts on Marco Rubio token? Yeah, Rubio started grifting. He dropped it. I'm kidding. Imagine Rubio drops a coin. Marco. And it's called Lil Marco. Lil Marco. Who's at 27? You already 3x'd recently. Think you will go at least another 3x on the day, but who knows? I mean, hopefully the weed coin meta isn't dead yet. That'd be disappointing if it was. I wanted to make some good money off of that. But I might just decide to. But it's like, dude, I still haven't been able to catch one. I haven't been able to catch like 100x or 200x yet. Do you have any other coins, man? Like that have decent charts? Optimus has a really good chart if you've seen that. But I don't have any of that coin. Aqua Teen, Hunger Force, Robot Chicken. Yeah, I discussed this with chat one time. Family Guy, Aqua Teen, Robot Chicken. What other toys did you like as a kid beside Legos? I like models of like cars and stuff. I like model trains. Look at rapid response. Not just a Maryland man, it's an illegal alien from El Salvador who 2 judges ruled as part of MS-13. I mean, yeah, but there's like other things with this. Because if this was actually 100% true, there's no way liberals would be fighting for this. It just doesn't. It's like they ruled it in 2019 and it turned out he wasn't actually a part of the gangs or something. Because trust me, I mean, there's no way you could argue a gang member from MS-13. You know, to me, I think they're kind of manipulating it there, but. He's all dressed up today. Miss you already? Oh, man. Relationship forming. Weed is amazing, Joe Rogan. Yeah, Joe Rogan bought weed coin. Imagine Rogan talked about it. The shake. the meatball.
Mr. President, it's an honor to have you doing incredibly for your country, and we appreciate working with you because you want to stop crime, and so do we. I want to thank you for the great job
Trump's like in this weird monotone voice.
You're doing.
I'm really happy to be here, honored, and eager to help. We're a small country, but if we can help, we do it.
We just have had a great relationship, and I want to just say hello to the people
Look at Trump.
Of El Salvador.
Look at Trump.
Say they have one
getting along with foreign leaders. What about that narrative? Oh, he's making us an embarrassment. Oh, this is a great country, El Salvador. They've gotten their crime in order. They're one of the up and coming countries, and this is great what Trump is doing. This is diplomatic relationship building by an elite political leader like Donald Trump. Ethereum is still king of alts. Well, I mean, but it's been terrible. I mean, hopefully it does well, but even if it does well, it's probably looking at like a 3 or 4x at most. Do you think Steve Bannon will ever be a guest on Joe Rogan's podcast? Steve Bannon was recently on Bill Maher. Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't shock me if Bannon went on Rogan. I mean, why not? What's the big deal? He went on. I mean, you go on Bill Maher. It's like, yeah. Your short-term goal with all these trades is to exit and plunge the King's Ransom into MOG. Dude, I was hoping to make like, honestly, like 200 or 300K and then just put it all in MOG or some shit. Imagine. But dude, what is MOG at, like 180 right now? 190 million? I mean, imagine. I mean, it probably goes to like 20 billion, honestly. That's what I'm thinking for MOG. That's close to like a 90x. But I just put it in a NASDAQ 420 as well, because I already have a lot of that. Or I'd put it into a few other ones, like Doge Jones. Good night. All right, man. Good night. I'll see you, man. Did Trump show the Gulf of America? I don't think so. That was just a specialty to Conor McGregor. That was a specialty. No, he always has the Gulf of America up. I think it was up again. It's always been up in the White House ever since it happened. Thoughts on Rachel Zegler? What a chaotic bitch. And she tanked her own movie. And that movie was going to do bad anyways, though. Your work ethic is inspiring. He's like, you see what we did there? We made that. We changed that name. Congratulations. Your work ethic is inspiring. You changed a name. It was like the ultimate simpage. Did you watch American Dad as well? I didn't really watch American Dad, no. You heard Europe is focused on doing trade with China more than the U.S.? Well, that's because of the tariffs that went on them. No, it's not going to happen because we're going to work out a trade deal with them. But I mean, you really don't. China is not a good trading partner. Like, where did this whole narrative come from? They'll just trade with China. Really? You think that's a good idea for a lot of these countries who already have massive surpluses with the United States? You think China is going to supplement Americans' consumer base? And on top of that, they're extremely predatory. It's just like, I mean, I do understand China like filling in as a vessel if the United States loses power within trade because Trump wants these tariffs. But I mean, he's already brought the tariffs down to 10%. You should ditch your Xbox and get a PS5. Yeah, that's not going to happen. I'm keeping my Xbox. I mean, I've had the original Xbox 360. I've had all of them, honestly. I have. It was the original Xbox 360, Xbox One, and Xbox Series S, which is kind of stupid. They made like, they started naming them dumb things. Trump naming the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America will be one of the many things on Trump's legacy. Yeah, until liberals change it. Imagine if liberals were that cucked, they would change it back to the Gulf of Mexico. But I mean, if Vance wins, probably not, because then it would be a while. So how does the Alberta situation work? Do you expand Congress? Well, I think it'd be a longer process, but yeah, we would definitely want those representatives because a lot of them would be conservative. And if they became a state, you would have to you know, and I think they would. The senator would be the senators would be conservative. The governor would be conservative, hopefully. But yeah, you would have to change a few different things. But they would be a territory at first, then they would apply for statehood. That's how the process would work. Do you think the progressive Democrats will start posting China flags in their bios? What do you mean they'll? I haven't really seen. I mean, there's been a lot of simping for China, like certain, but even by some people on the right, I've seen it too. It's weird. I don't really think there's this crazy liberal simp for China, honestly. I don't really see that online. I mean, you could argue they want China to win this trade war because that's how much they hate Trump, and yeah, I would agree, but. Did you see the non-binary person correct Anderson Cooper? Yeah, did you see Bernie Sanders? He looked disgusted. He was disgusted when that happened. Anderson Cooper was like, well, she is a student or she's from this. And then she's like, well, no, I go by they, them. And then Bernie Sanders was like, huh? Thoughts on if we're getting a stimulus via Doge? I don't think so. No, because the problem is there's not enough money that they didn't save enough money to get that. They had to save $1 trillion, and then 400 billion would be given back. They're only saving. They're saying in the year of 2026, they're saving 150 billion. So it's not nearly enough. You go to the gym? No, I don't. I was gonna ask these questions about the gym. The Wall Street Journal wants China to win the trade war. Well, they're definitely going to win. When there's a trade deal that's worked out, the liberal media is going to spin it because there's going to be concessions on both sides. That's just the reality of these things. But they're definitely going to spin it. Come on, man. Show me a positive. I mean, we need a quick reversal or some shit. Another illegal immigrant murdered someone. Huge letdown. What, you're talking about Doge? Yeah, I mean, the problem is, man, that hurts. I don't know why. I got this like pressure, very small pimple. I mean, if they can't fight, if there's no fraud, I mean, it is what it is. They need to look at the Pentagon. Is what they need to look at. That's what I would say. There has been a ton of Chinese interference in the Canadian elections, pushing the Liberal vote. Albertan. I know. I did hear about that. I saw that in some news stories that was going on. That's interesting that China would manipulate that. So they want China wants liberals to win. Doge Jones industrial average coin versus Nasdaq 420 is there an S&P 500 meme coin variant or just there is one. There's several variants of that. The S&P 500. I'm not in any of them because I think I have it saved on here. I was in it and then I sold it and then it boomed and then it went back down. I'd have to look through it. I think it's right around like 100K. This is the one that SPX, but it's called S&P 500. It's at 85K. It randomly did like a 9 or a 10x from like 30K, but I had sold it like right here. But I don't know. I mean, it doesn't have a good community at all. That's the problem. I would rather go in on Doge Jones, honestly, than this. Because it's like, how many variants can we really have in this meta? Of course, China wants to win. They can take advantage of the U.S. with less resistance. Well, I mean, I think a lot of foreign countries want the liberals to win. They're softer. You're shocked the retirement token hasn't actually made movement. It's so simple and straightforward. Yeah, for 2069K. I know there was kind of a there was a 401k meta, but it didn't do anything. So I think that's very bearish, honestly, for it. You would love to watch me on Joe Rogan. Well, to get on Rogan, I mean, that's, you got to be like, I mean, I guess it just depends. You got to have interesting shit and stuff, I guess. Doge just revives savings from 1 trillion to 150 billion. Definitely won't be a Doge dividend now. But I don't even know how it's only 150 billion. They got rid of the Department of Education. That's 100 billion right there. So it has to be more than that. I mean, unless they like reallocating that money for something else and not counting it as saved. The dude that set Shapiro's house on fire hated everyone. It tends to be people like that. You know, that's a weird situation with Shapiro, who's a liberal, but he's like very lukewarm, moderate liberal, at least according to farther leftist people. No income tax. I mean, how do we pay? How is that managed exactly? We already have a $2 trillion deficit. Now we're going to lose more money. It's like, I mean, I'm all for getting rid of taxes or taking away taxes to a degree, but it's like, we can't really do that right now. We already have a deficit as it is. The money saved from the Department of Education went straight to the Pentagon. Because if they did get a $1 trillion budget, that's a $150 billion increase for the Pentagon, which is hilarious because Trump said he was going to cut it by 8%. But I mean, it's like, how are we upping our military budget by 150 billion? I mean, honestly, it is bullish news because it's the government spending money short term, but it's just like it's more of the kicking the can down the road. Which it seems like Trump is, you know, like when you have 4 years, you try and do all this stuff and you say you're going to do it. But it's like, if you have 4 years, can you really execute a lot of these cuts? And it's going to be bearish for the economy. I mean, you're spending less money, but long term, it would be good. Minus Touch Network on YouTube are reporting they're more popular than Fox and Joe Rogan podcast with tens of millions of views, just straight North Korean style propaganda against Trump. Well, I mean, if you have to say you're getting more views, you're probably not getting more views. Is there any good videos about Crooks conspiracies? I haven't seen many videos recently on anything about Crooks, but I know the conspiracy, you know, he's a patsy. I don't really think that's even that big of a conspiracy. 110-pound kid that just waltzes up to a roof and is able to fire at Trump several times and supposedly had contacts of people overseas in his phone. And U.S. aid, well, U.S. aid was only $20 billion that they saved. The liberals I mean, you would have thought we would have saved $500 billion from USAID the way that liberals talked about it. They said it was this huge scandal. How can you get rid of it? It's $20 billion in total money for foreign countries. You literally do 20 videos a day defaming Trump. They can yell into a void. Who cares? Department of Defense can't pass a basic audit. Why are we giving them more money? Because it's you gotta have a strong military, which I agree with. We do need to have a strong military, but there's a point when it's like we can't give them more money. Number one, you're right, they can't pass an audit. Number two, we're $2 trillion in the hole every year, and it's getting worse by the day. New pump fund grift is streaming directly on the platform, begging people to buy. Yeah, dude, I really wish they would just shut that down, honestly. I think it's like the degeneracy, and it's just bad. That's something I would be okay with them shutting down, is pump fun, to be fair. Even though some coins have come off of there, I think it would be a way better environment without it. Plus, pump fun is a money drain. I mean, basically all coins go to nothing. Can you make your thumbnail sky purple? What is it right now? Green? I mean, I really don't like the thumb. You know, I had a really good background thumbnail on my live streams, but then I changed it like a week ago. I don't know why. Because it was like, it's just every thumbnail is the same, so I had to change it at some point. I was like, I gotta change it at some point. It's like everything is the same. If you look on all my streams, it's all the same background. But it was a good background. It was like an anime, like skybox background. Then I changed it to this green background that I found on Canva or something. Do you think the market is bullish or bearish in the next 85 days? I think there's a lot of turbulence, a lot of linear action, maybe slight upwards movement, but it's going to take time. But I mean, technically all these, like everything we get from here on out relative from Trump should be bullish because it's deals being signed. And it's not really going to change a ton in terms of the market singular trade deals, but it does reinforce that it's good that the tariff trade war isn't happening with all these countries. Do you think the Navy will have an armed icebreaker ship to defend the North? Yeah, I mean, also, certainly as it gets more and more meaningful, we're probably going to have the cutting edge technology in the North when it comes to ships. I mean, we got the Ships Act now, so we're going to build more ships. I got to see the details on that, see how many. I mean, because the thing is, with a lot of these things, they say they're going to build a certain amount, and then they never do. It happened a lot under Biden. Who do you think was behind Crooks? I mean, the easy answer is like liberal entities within the government. Obviously, people that didn't want Trump to win. You're in the process of making me an action figure? What does that even mean? You're making me an action figure? I appreciate it, man. Did you keep some of your viewers from election season? Yeah, certainly. I mean, I'm sure that's probably most people here. Because, I mean, before the election stuff, before I was streaming, it was mainly... I mean, I mainly had sports fans. I had 9/11 fans, sports fans, and then I got into politics, and then so yeah. If I do a stream and the stream is titled about politics, it's going to be all the political people that watch it. Dean Wade is Dean Wade is a bot. He's just spamming talking points for me to talk about. Well, he's actually my AI agent. Using Greenland as a rare earth refinery is brilliant in a positive way. Well, that needs to be the new thing that Trump pitches. I don't know if it's really that bad for the environment to where they actually can't refine rare earths in the United States. I don't know. I mean, is it seriously that bad to where we can't do it? You would think it's just this bullshit environmentalist trying to protect everything and we can do it anyways, but if it really is that bad. You're an election viewer. Yeah, I mean, there's pretty much all people came from the election that are here. Started watching in July after the first assassination. Well, I had like 2 really big videos in June on Biden stepping down or not, like the news on that. I don't know why those videos did very well. I think it's just luck, honestly. Like, I had a million view video that was just based on news. Pretty crazy. It's just algorithm luck. That's all it is. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for this live stream, I think. Bryce Jones, sup, dude, keep the content. I appreciate that, man. Thank you for the donation. I'll be seeing you guys. $1 million views at $3, 30 grand. No, it wasn't that much. No, that's not what it is. There's no way I got 30 grand off that video, dude. I don't think that calculation is right. I mean, I made good money off of that video, but even the election live stream, I didn't make that. All right, guys, I'll see ya.